Welcome back to the channel. We finally have some more details on the Sins of Sinister the X-Men event. Actually, it's not the next big one. The next big one's Dark Web, and then the event after that. Here talking about that is Doc. How you doing, Doc?
I am fine, and the X-Men franchise is creatively bankrupt.
You got to sell me on this one, Doc, because I don't think that I'm interested in any more alternate universe timelines where I know going into the event that nothing that I read will matter ever.
We've done this how many times at this point? The magic of Age of Apocalypse was we thought that might actually be permanent at the time. It just happened. Like, shit was going on in one book, and it literally, like, mid-storyline on other titles, just boom. Like, last page, the fucking M'Kraan crystal, like, crystallizing everything, and there's no wrapping shit up. There's just, we're stopping right in the middle of everything, going to a new universe. And you're like, holy shit, they did it right. Plus, you had, halfway good creators on it, which you obviously don't have here. And this is just another one being done by the most annoying fucking villain in Marvel Comics as the central part at this point. Because
we'll get to that point, Doc. Let's get to some of the details that we do have, and then we'll talk about some of the big questions. Marvel Comics has seemingly confirmed that the tale will be a Mr. Sinister-themed version of the classic X-Men tale Age of Apocalypse, with Sinister apparently creating a version of reality in his own image. The teaser reads, enter an entire universe cursed by the Sins of Sinister, which shows apparently sinisterized versions of not just the X-Men, but Captain America, Thor, and others. I almost started laughing as soon as I saw it, Doc. It feels like an enormous joke.
It's another what-if story. What if Sinister was everybody? Because he could be Captain America. He could be Reed Richards. He can be fucking whoever. It doesn't matter at this point.
I don't think this is going to generate the interest that they think it is. It feels like another jumping off point. I'm tired of the events, specifically the X-Men events. And like I said, we still have Dark Web to get through, which is the X-Men Spider-Man crossover. Stuff is absolutely ridiculous, but this could be okay because during House of X Powers of 10, one of the interesting concepts that they introduced was Sinister essentially screwing over the X-Men that ends up kind of destroying the entire world and letting the robots and everyone take over. If this isn't leading into those exact events in House of X Powers of 10, if it's just some weird fantasy where Mr. Sinister ends up taking over the entire world and becoming everybody, what's the point if we're not going to lead into something that we know we already like? That's the problem I'm having here.
I should know better than to give this X-Office any benefit of the doubt here, but they did show like that Rasputin that was a hybrid because she was kind of a magic / Colossus hybrid. They do show that character that we haven't seen since House of X, Powers of X. It feels like maybe they're going to try to connect to that stuff, but they basically abandoned everything that was interesting about House and Powers to begin with. So why should we hold out any hope that it's actually going to do anything more than be another platform for Kieran Gillen to show how awesome and mincing Mr. Sinister is? Fuck this character and fuck Kieran Gillen for fucking him up.
So you have a lot more faith than I do. I think that is in there to make you think that, to give the appearance that it might be about something that you like. But I'm completely certain that this is not that, because in those versions of the world, not everything was sinister. Not everyone had a diamond or a club or a stupid spade on their head. Like we see Captain America, I think, with a diamond on his head and stuff like that. Now, as far as the writer being Kieran Gillen, I'm not certain that that is the case, because we know the big announcement's going to happen at New York City Comic Con. And the details that we have about that panel is Jerry Duggan is confirmed for the panel, but Kieran Gillen has not been mentioned yet. So I think there's actually a good chance Jerry Duggan is actually writing this one. He has done the story where we had the reveal of Mr. Sinister, but with the club on his head and stuff like that. I have a feeling it kind of looks like it's a Jerry Duggan thing, not Kieran Gillen. Although I would be surprised if Kieran Gillen didn't write some tie-ins or something.
Honestly, does it really matter which of them are writing it? It's going to be shit one way or the other, and it's going to be a half-hearted and half-assed connection, riding the coattails of interesting stuff that John Hickman put together back in House and Powers, done poorly.
Well, Doc, don't you want to see a Mr. Sinister version of Wolverine? That's what we've all been waiting for, right?
No. In fact, I don't want to see a Mr. Sinister Wolverine. I don't want to see a Mr. Sinister Beast. I don't want to see a Mr. Sinister Cable. I don't want to see a Mr. Sinister anything except for the real fucking Nathan Essex ripping this one in half, destroying his lab, and being a fucking badass again.
Well, that's not going to happen, but he has gotten really annoying. Like, there's like 4 or 5 different versions of him. One of them claims he's the original right now. I just find the character terribly off-putting. He's the lead villain in multiple books right now. I don't think he's that powerful.
Look, Mr. Sinister is a very, very smart geneticist, has some semi-cool power set with his ability to kind of have energy blast, low-level psychic, and kind of some shape-shifting. But other than that,
kind of hard to take him seriously as the guy that's going to be like the biggest threat, the entire galaxy, that's going to curse the entire Marvel 616. It's going to be Sinister. It's not Thanos. He's not powerful enough. We need the guy that clones people because he's the one that's unstoppable. What if we get Sue Storm Sinister and Reed Richards Sinister, and then Sinister can have sex with himself because this version of the character would like nothing more than that? Or we could get Sinister version of Cyclops, Sinister version of Wolverine, and Sinister version of Jean Grey, and he could be the meat in his own Sammy.
That
was really loud.
That was terrible too. Sorry. I should never have done that.
Just that he's all he's interested is himself.
Yeah, well, he is. He's interested in Sinister. There's some humor to his wildly over the top ego.
All I know is those cape jokes got old real fast. I did not like those. Although I have to give credit where credit is due. Zeb Wells' Sinister in Hellions was pretty damn good. Like, he was kind of exciting. He felt like he had a plan, and he was kind of a threat sitting there behind the scenes to Psylocke and the rest of the teams, and he was using them, for his own personal gain. And that felt like a much better, appropriate use for the character that fit what he is in the Marvel Comics universe.
It was still a lighter version of the character than what I'd like to see and that I'm used to seeing. He was still too cowardly, too much of a bitch. There's a reason why he's called Sinister, and it's got nothing to do with how fucking fabulous he looks in a cape.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've noticed, Doc has noticed, there are far too many X-Men events going on right now. We talked about it when this was announced. We're in the middle of Judgment Day. We've got Dark Web around the corner, and we're already announcing the 3rd event, which we know is going to lead into like the 4th or 5th event. Definitely check this out. If you're tired of events, you want to hear what normal people, comic book fans are saying about this, you are not alone. We're all feeling it. If you don't see it here, there's also a link in the video description.